Okay, I thought you were going to say something else.
Day 3 of this sweater.
It's day 3. Oh, really? You're like...
I think you've been wearing that hoodie all week.
Sweaters are okay. I think you can rewear sweaters.
I just throw it on every morning.
It's kind of like a jacket, especially in COVID. You're just like...
I just wear it like a jacket.
I changed my undershirt, so I have a new undershirt.
I'm chilly in the morning.
Wait, I'm going off camera.
You are not off camera.
I'm off camera.
No, you're not.
Look at I love this color. Look, we're the same color.
We're matching.
This is a rise and grind. It means get up and start sharpening and shaping. That's what a relationship with God is. He sharpens and shapes us. Is it day 1 of the we're grounded?
I don't want to talk about that.
We're grounded.
I don't want to talk about
we don't even have a curfew. We're just straight up grounded. What are we gonna do differently?
This.
We should go emotional shopping. Oh wait, you can't.
Online you can.
Oh, we could go
Trust
online.
me.
Have you ever bought a car online?
No.
I was looking at my friend's cars yesterday. It got me excited. If you could pick a car to buy, what car would you buy?
I said hi to Morgan.
Hi, Morgan. What car would you buy? If you could pick a car, a vehicle.
We're really reaching for conversation topics now, eh?
No, I think it's an important conversation for maybe down the road, maybe for, I don't even know if we're in retirement or pre-retirement. It might be an important conversation. What direction would you go, SUV or car?
I just feel lucky to have a car. So I don't really care.
Me too.
I like a little zippy car.
So you would like a little sports car. 2-seater, probably not very practical.
Sports car.
Yeah, zippy. When I hear zippy,
it doesn't have to be a sports car.
I hear 380 horsepower.
What can you get me that won't have payments or ever have to be fixed?
Zippy probably won't be a part of that equation. No, I prefer SUVs. I like an SUV. A zippy SUV. A Range Rover, maybe.
Okay. Reaching for conversation topics. Welcome to
It's an important conversation. I think, guys, it's an important conversation for guys because there's always a possibility that you might need a vehicle.
Can we just talk about something really important, though, right now? So every morning at this house, John waits for Jordan to wake up, and the two of them go downstairs to check the mouse trap.
Some would say we're mousers. And we report to you.
Appreciate the research and the effort that you've put in. However, I want to know how long is it appropriate for me to continue to wait for evidence that this problem has been solved, and when can
you were getting impatient, and I said, hunters, wait.
From what I've heard, mice propagate.
Yeah,
propagate.
But what we have is traps. We have food. We have gathering. We have a gathering tool. So we're just waiting for. One day, somebody's going to mess up.
Live?
So I believe that we blocked all the holes with...
They're in this house.
With steel wool and expanding foam. So we thought they were outside now, but they're eating the food still. So they're inside.
They're in this house.
But then they don't eat food for 2 days, and then it throws us off. So right now, we're still in waiting.
They're eating something.
Yesterday, they cleaned out a trap.
They're eating
So that means they're in the house. And then once we catch one, I think we're going to implement... tactic green skull, we call it. Green skull is actually mouse poison. I would prefer if the mice did not perish in our house. That's why I'm trying to trap them. And then they would rot, and I don't know where they would be. I should probably watch some YouTube videos. Like, I am a professional barista because of YouTube. I should probably what was that show? It was the guy in Florida. They would go and get
these
animals.
Are
animal pest control.
That I can't control.
These are outside problems that are inside.
It's in my home, though. And I need to learn how to be okay, even when the things around me are not okay. And yet I have an obsessive mind. I don't think like other people. And so I obsess. So I wake up.
Oh, so this is good training for you.
No, this is not good
training.
The
mice technically could, in the middle of the night, climb right up the...
I know.
Ventilation system.
Why do you keep taking the vent cover?
Well, if you didn't eat potato chips in our bed, they probably wouldn't. I'm just kidding. You don't eat potato chips in our bed.
It feels like everything in our house is falling apart.
Well, the good news is recovery says Even though the outside is falling apart, the inside is put together. And you will have peace like a river. You will have joy like a fountain.
I'm not freaking out inside.
There's no freaking out right now. There's no freaking out inside.
But I'm not okay with living with mice.
No, I don't. That's not my goal.
Or what's going on in the
backyard.
We
had hamsters once.
I don't even want to talk about what's going on in the backyard.
The rats are, we have implemented Operation Green Skull for the rats. We call it Green Skull because there's green pellet food that they eat. And so we have 2 commercial feeding stations for them back there because they span around the neighborhood. Rats on the outside, mice on the inside. At least we don't have termites.
We could.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Oh, it's always a possibility.
Accepting anger, January 14th. Anger is one of the many profound effects life has on us. It's one of our emotions, and we're going to feel it when it comes our way, or else repress it. That's from the book Codependent No More. If I was working a good program, I wouldn't get angry. If I was a good Christian, I wouldn't feel angry. If I was really using my affirmations about how happy I am, I wouldn't be angry. Those are old messages that seduce us into not feeling again. Anger is a part of life. We need not dwell in it or seek it out, but we can't afford to ignore it. In recovery, we learn we can shamelessly feel all our feelings, including anger, and still take responsibility for what we do when we feel angry. We don't have to let anger control us, but it surely will if we prevent ourselves from feeling it. Being grateful, being positive, being healthy does not mean we will never feel angry. Being grateful, positive, and healthy means we feel angry when we need to. Today, I will let myself be angry if I need to. I can feel and release my emotions, including anger, constructively. I will be grateful for my anger and the things it is trying to show me. I can feel and accept all my emotions without shame, and I can take responsibility for my actions.
That's good.
What is a constructive release of anger?
Catching mice. Yeah, and we do this in LifeLab. We have an emotional class, one of the sessions, and teaching it, I had to rename it because I named them, like, we have 8 classifications of emotions, with every emotion coming out of that. And then I had originally said there's, like, these are the bad ones and these are the good ones, and there's more bad ones than good ones, actually. So that's interesting. And so they can be beacons of hope and light, and they might be disturbing at some level, but they're still speaking to us. So then I changed them because of the pressure upon me
to go like bad emotions.
Exactly. As I'm teaching it, it goes like it's all God given. There's nothing bad.
Right.
And so it's unpleasant and pleasant emotions. And so
most of us don't even know how to define what we're feeling. Mm-hmm. And they've actually proven that scientifically, that we don't actually have a lot of language to describe what we're feeling. And so typically we'll only use certain, like, a very few number of words, when really there's like a lot of words that we can use to describe what we're feeling.
Yeah.
And science has proven that the more words you use to describe how you're feeling, that is actually the way that you process.
So then if we don't process our feelings, because our feelings are like the dashboard of your car and they point out stuff, if we don't process our feelings properly or be able to talk about them, or we're numbing them, which a lot of us have done for 20 years, mm-hmm. they turn into resentments. They turn into fear. So those are the things that we actually have to deal with now. So when you don't deal with a problem, AKA mice, what happens? They start to take over. And so just like our emotions, if we don't deal with them, process them, let God point to wounding and fears and all of that stuff for him to come in and heal and restore, then we're left with resentment and fear. And so Morgane was just saying that she's doing her step 4 and doing her inventories. Mm-hmm. So now we get to go deal with the mouse problem. And then we'll have to clean up all the fecal matter. We'll have to clean up their little hut, and we'll have to actually be rid of them with the power of God. So God actually does that with us. Hmm. And I'm doing a step 4 too with my sponsor, and we're at the end of it. And he's like, so how do we get rid of this? And he has practical application, but then at the end, he just goes, there's nothing you can do to get rid of this. This is by the power of God, and you need to beg him every day for this resentment to be gone. Like remove this resentment, because we've gone to the fear of the resentment, and we've gone to the belief systems of the resentment, and we've gone to the actions out of that resentment. And so now I can see the truth, and now the truth will set me free of this resentment because it's God's truth. It's amazing.
I think it's a daunting task for people.
The new way that I've been doing inventory is by far the most efficient and effective way of doing it that I've ever seen. And it's not daunting, and it's not.
Yeah, I get that.
And my sponsor does it with me.
Yeah, I get that.
Really neat. And
I think that, there's something to be said for finishing what we started. And that even if it's not done, like, even if, we make it this big, big, big thing, and then it gets even bigger in our head, and like, it's this huge daunting task, but like, just finish it. Like, if you only do 10, whatever, like, just get through those. Like, people I think people get stuck.
If anybody needs some help or some guidance or some encouragement, hit us up about resentments. We're resentment pros. Been working on those for 14 years. And that's the thing. It's like bringing it to God. And I like your awakening of like this stuff. I try to do these good things to change this, but I fail at the good things, and it produces more guilt and more shame, and it actually separates me from God more. So it's like, I need this to change to do the good things that I want to do.
Right. Yeah. All the things that I think that I should be doing, that I beat myself up for not doing constantly. Literally, all I do now is just ask God all day.
See, our minds are focused on, if I do these behaviors, then I'll get this result.
God.
And it works in the business world, but in the spiritual world, I actually have to get these results to be able to do these things. It's backwards. It's upside down. Oh my goodness.
Now all I say is, God, if you want me to honor my government and be in lockdown, you need to give me the power.
I need the joy from in here.
God, if you want me to finish this step work, you need to give me the power.
I need your power.
God, if you want me to live.
So it's like, what are we plugging into for power? Are we plugging into our phones? Are we plugging into the news? Are we plugging into just a relationship, or our kids, or alcohol or drugs? Whatever we're plugged into is what we'll have the power of. And so is that chaos? Is that confusion? Because God is the author and the finisher of our faith. And he's a finisher of peace and joy. Mm-hmm. And the enemy and addiction is confusion and division. And so we don't want to be a confusion distributor. We want to be peace and joy distributors. In the name of Jesus. Let's go about the work. What's for breakfast? What's for dinner? Let's go get some ice. I haven't had a coffee yet today.
Thank goodness.
All right, guys. We are going to go. If you want to join our LifeLab, this is stuff that we talk about, resentments and fears and anger, and how to get into a relationship with God for him to remove these things and to be light and salt of the world. Join our LifeLab program. We have like our new website. I'm so excited about that. That kept me up for like 2 days. And so thank you for the.
I don't know how you can figure all that stuff
out.
Oh
my goodness. All right. We will see you. What day is it? Thursday. Oh man. All right. Happy lockdown. Don't wash your hands because you can't go anywhere.